KKHT wants you to meet three of the classiest guys in real estate.
I am Chris Kelso, the maestro of mortgage.
I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate.
And I'm Joe Orsack, the king of credit swing. And together, we're
the Real Estate Rat Pack.
Much like us, real estate right now is smoking hot. So whether it's buying, selling, or owning, you need to check out the Real Estate Rat Pack.
They're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now, 1-800-808-5548. And now, the Real Estate Rat Pack.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you this morning, Chris?
Man, I am doing great. You know, it's funny. We're having a great morning this morning. The weather is absolutely impeccable out there. Fall is definitely in full gear right now.
A brisk 85.
Brisk 85 out there yesterday, 100 degrees. You know, and Joe Orsack, who's not in the studio, is headed off to Austin today for his game, isn't he?
That martial arts thing. But instead, we had the lovely Michelle Hatmaker as our co-host today. Say hi, Michelle.
That is correct.
Hi, Michelle.
We definitely do.
This morning.
We have Michelle Hatmaker in the house. We've got Rob Cook in the house. You know, today's subject matter is actually going to be all about preparing your home for the holidays. And before we actually get into that, and speaking of holidays, we have a really good friend of mine. Actually, we have a long, good history together. But we have Jennifer Hernandez with Patriot Bank Mortgage, and she's also here to talk about the Nancy Owens Memorial Foundation. Jennifer, say hello to everybody, please.
Hello.
You know, one of the things that you and I have always believed a lot in is giving back to the community and giving back to individuals. Let us know a little bit about the Nancy Owens Memorial Foundation.
Well, thanks first, guys, for the opportunity to be here today. So Nancy Owens was an icon in real estate. She ended her career with John Daugherty Realtors. She was in real estate for 25 years plus, a true professional, and she passed away 11 years ago from her battle with breast cancer. And so several of her friends who are also in real estate, which I know, Rob, you know, Amy Bernstein and some others, they had promised her that they would carry on the fight for breast cancer and give back to the community. So they formed the Nancy Owens Memorial Foundation in her memory. And in the last 10 years, we have raised over $1 million to give back to research projects, MD Anderson, Methodist,
Baylor College
and
of
Baylor.
Medicine.
So every year we decide the 2 or 3 projects that we're going to give back to. They are aggressively researching breast cancer as we know it, and we know that if they find a cure for breast cancer, also many related diseases, pancreatic and endometrial. My sister passed from endometrial cancer 2 years ago, so this is a cause that's very close to my heart because I know that it's all very, very much related, and I've been a very large contributor for the last 4 years, and I'm also on the committee now. So I'm here today. I'll get to the point. Our luncheon, we have it every year, is October 7th, which is a Monday. So there are a lot of people from the real estate community present, but it's open to just anybody. And I would say that there's probably going to be 700 to 800 people in attendance. And this year we have the privilege of having Martina Navratilova, the tennis star. Everyone knows her name.
I can't say it, but I know it.
It took me a while to spell it, okay? I've been typing out emails trying to get to contributors, and I had to spell check Navratilova, okay? But we're so excited to have her. She is, for those of you that don't know, she is a breast cancer survivor, and so she will be speaking to us, and she's a champion in many, many, many shapes and forms. And so it is Monday, October 7th at the Westin Galleria. We still have some tables open. You can purchase a table for a minimum of $1,650 all the way up to $15,000 if you want to be one of our diamond sponsors. And you can also get definitely individual tickets. The individual tickets are $150 a piece. So go to nancyowens.org. Again, that's nancyowens.org. You can purchase your tickets there and submit any questions that you've got online as well.
That is awesome. You know, and by the way, it's Nancy Owens again, nancyowens.org. Great community organization, something that's really good, raised a lot of money. And let me tell you, my mother suffered from breast cancer and, you know, is a breast cancer survivor. So it's something I tell everybody, we need to get out there. We need to get donations out there, and we need to get more research out there, because if we find the cure on how to prevent and stop breast cancer, it leads to a lot of other items, as you mentioned right there.
Well, this is an amazing event, because Mike Huff is the owner of Prudential Anderson Properties, and he bought 3 tables, plus he is the diamond sponsor for it. So we're big believers in the event. I don't think I've missed maybe but 2 or 3 of the events over the
Yeah.
years, and it's hugely attended. What do you? How many people do you expect?
Well, there's normally 600 to 650. This year we'll have the largest, either the second largest or the largest attendance that we've had in a decade. So it's not too late to get your ticket again. Every year we ask those that have been affected in some way, shape, or form to stand that have been affected by breast cancer, and I can tell you there's not many people that don't stand, whether it's a sibling or an aunt, or there's men that have breast cancer.
Bring
Yes.
some Kleenex.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
it
but you
can
know,
be-
it's always a very heartwarming couple of hours. And like I said, my true belief and the reason I got so involved was when my sister was diagnosed with endometrial. I knew that supporting this cause was also affecting the research of many other cancers as well as a whole.
I would agree.
Because they're all very related, you know, many of the DNA and the makeup of how our cells work. It's all very
Right.
complicated, and I cannot ad-lib it on this show. But many of it all very much works together. And so I knew that by contributing to this, that I was also helping, you know, those like my sister as well. So again, Nancy Owens with an S on the end .org. Please come to this wonderful event. Bring friends, bring family members. It's a great way to bring some clients as well that you want to appreciate. And it's a really, really great time. October 7th.
October
Monday.
7th. Well, that's nancyowens.org. Get out there, and even if you can't attend, donations are definitely accepted. What we're trying to do is, again, raise money to be able to give to the cure or the research for the cure for breast cancer, which will also lead to a lot of other cures out there. So even if you can't attend, definitely go out there, check them out, and if you want to just give money. It's a great organization to support right there. Jen?
Thanks again for the time, guys and gals. I
Absolutely.
really am just so blessed to be on the show. So thanks again, and we'll see you at the event.
That is Jen Hernandez again with Patriot Bank Mortgage, also a great individual in the mortgage industry. And I tell everybody is great team, great individual out there.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Jen.
Thank you.
So, you know, we have a great show going on today. Obviously, one of the things we'll be talking about is everything about setting your home up for the holidays. You know, a lot of times that can also include setting your home up for sale for the holidays.
Yes, indeed. Well, here's what I want to do before we get there, because you know, your sister company, Capital Title, had a grand opening in their East office right off of.
Actually, it was right off the Beltway 8
Beltway
in
and
Wallaceville Road,
Wallaceville
the second
Road.
one in a row. That is correct. We had Galleria the week prior.
I had Krista tell me twice. No, really, just exit Wallaceville. It'll be there. But the gang there were so warm, and this is a good-looking gang too. I'm telling you, and it was a lot of fun. And
Go check Rob's photos out on Facebook.
Yeah,
You'll see them all.
You can go, yeah, Rob Cook on Facebook, and posted with all the pretty ladies. That's where I usually position myself. Anyway, it's Tanya Butterfries, Linda Stewartson, Philip Scalise, Claudia Garcia, Carmen Castilla, Miranda Juarez, and Noemi Nunez. And Noemi was good enough to kind of get me to salsa dance, so thank you for putting up with my 2 left feet. So anyway, I want to do a shout-out to them because they are also one of our great sponsors of the show.
That is correct. Great sponsor, and they're opening up a lot of offices throughout the Houston area. You know, stay tuned. We'll continue to post them out here on the Real Estate Wrap Pack and all the new events that are coming on board, both in the Woodlands and out in the Champions area, and also the good stuff that we also continue to do in general.
And maybe we ought to thank Kevin Clark, too, since he is the president for the Houston area. So
That is correct.
Thank you, Kevin, because you helped make this show possible. Anyway, let's continue on with what you were talking about, is getting your home ready to not necessarily sell for the holidays, but getting your home ready for the holidays, period. And we have Tish Lynn, the stager, is here with us today, and she is one of our sponsors also. So we've had her on before, and she has got a lot of creative ideas. And so we're going into the holidays. And, you know, what are some of the things that people need to be doing or thinking about or want to get ready? They're going to have company. Where would you start them?
I think, you know, getting ready for the holidays, one of the first things that people always think is, I need to get my house clean. Everybody wants their house clean and well organized when they have family coming over. But one of the things that people often overlook is you're going to have all these people in your house, and you may be having a meal prepared and you sit down dinners and things like that. And traffic pattern flow throughout the house sometimes gets a little bit difficult. And it's real important to sit back and look at the furnishings that you have in your house and determine what you may be able to tuck away for just the holiday period, and consider putting some of those things in storage, and then bring in an organizing professional or a home staging professional to help you figure out what the best traffic flow is for the number of people that you're going to have. So, and everybody's hugging, and I'm missing out on it here because
Missing out on the hugs and kisses.
I'm missing on the hugs here. Actually, no. Nancy's thing has really had me. Excuse me for being kind of tongue-tied this morning. The Nancy Owens Foundation, it touches my heart, and I really had not heard of it until this morning. My mind is going 90 miles an hour on how I can help support that, too, with our company. Anyway, back to the deal at hand.
But traffic patterns, though, you're talking about traffic patterns, obviously, to the holiday. You know, we have a lot of individuals come in. We have a lot of different events that are starting to be coordinated, obviously, and people like to do things in their home. And
Right.
so preparing your home for the holiday is about setting it up correctly. It's about making sure that the sights, the sounds, the smells, you know,
Right.
and one of the things also, I want to sort of relate this in two ways. One is how to prepare your homes for the holidays just in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other is how to prepare your home for the holiday if you're looking at selling it, because that's another big aspect. In fact, we had a conversation right here a bit earlier today, which the importance of setting up your home correctly from a staging perspective and according to the time frames of the year, because
Exactly.
things change. People's senses, people's vision and sight and smells, all that change through the year. And also it impacts their buying patterns and how they're looking at a new home whenever they walk into it.
It certainly does. One of the main things from a selling perspective during the holidays, you want to make sure that your family is accommodated. You want to be able to celebrate and enjoy yourselves. But at the same time, you have to remember that there are still going to be a lot of strangers coming through your home. And so you need to maintain, even through this, you need to maintain that sense of openness and well-staged, well-presented home in order to keep people from getting so pulled into all of your decorations and festive stuff that they miss what they're actually there to look at, which is the house, if you really want to get it sold. The other thing, during the holidays, you were talking about scents and the smells. All year long, you want to be careful about what the smells you have in your home, and Vaughn Peterson can talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But even the perceived good smells, like floral things, and in cinnamon, in holidays, we get a lot of the cinnamon and the spice smells and the pine and all that stuff. Please don't overdo that. When folks walk in, it can be actually off-putting, and there are folks with allergy issues that will turn around and walk out if the scents of any kind are too strong in your home.
Well, you know, speaking of scents, it's funny. It's one of the things, in fact, that we're starting to see. I was having a meeting one time, the new Keller Williams office here in town. And one of the things that they actually did, they actually went and did what Disney does, which they actually have smells that they put out into their environment. And because Disney did a big study on that, saying that the number, and Vaughn will probably talk to this in the next segment, the number one aspect of our senses that we first feel, I guess, or sense is smell.
That's right.
Smell is the
Absolutely.
first thing when you walk into a home, when you walk anywhere. It's the first sense that comes to your.
It's the number one memory trigger.
It's the
That's
number
what I was
one
about
memory
to
trigger
say.
right there. If we're coming in and you have it all prepared for the season, but you like to fix some certain type of food that
Correct.
might have a strong scent to it, reconsider that a little bit. Not that we don't want you to enjoy your home, not that we don't want, but if you're trying to sell it, it's important also to maintain a good sense
Right.
and a good sense of smell.
No. But you know, the thing is that sometimes you get those smells from the holidays, the scented candles and things like that,
Right.
trying to mask pet odors. And the combination of the two
it does
is
not work.
horrendous.
Not at all.
Right.
It just makes it so much worse.
That is correct. That is correct. Well, you know, we can talk about scents and smell a lot more once we come back after the next segment. We are coming up against a break right now. Again, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat?